Beautiful people, good morning. It is a jam-packed Friday show, so much to get to. Breaking Aaron Rodgers news from yesterday's show. But if somehow, some way you missed it, we will catch you up on everything that happened and the wild, miraculous ending of the Pacers-Thunder first game of the finals. Rachel Nichols, who was actually at Oklahoma City and talked to Tyrese Haliburton post-game, she will be joining us in a matter of minutes, moments, or seconds. That's Shady McCoy. That's the quarterback, Chase Daniel, for and James Jones. But it is not at all about us. What it is about is the fact that the Pacers came back from down 15 in the fourth quarter. Down 15 in the fourth quarter. Teams were 0-182 when trailing by 9 with the time remaining, roughly 3 minutes. But Tyrese Haliburton right there, 0.3 seconds left on the clock, shocked the world with that bucket. SGA had to speak about it.
Right now, we're whatever underdog that gives us more confidence as a group. We enjoy that, but there's still a lot of work to be done. This is an exciting time. Again, another big comeback, but there's a lot more work to do. That's just one game.
But we have 4 more games to get. They have 3, and that's just where we are. We got to understand that, and we got to get to 4 before they get to 3 if we want to win the NBA championship, and it's that simple. It's not rocket science. We lost game 1. We have to be better.
5 minutes. I spent 5 minutes yesterday talking to the man to my left. I spent 5 minutes yesterday talking to the man to my right, trying to convince them that there was a chance. Obviously, I did not know, nobody did, unless you're Miss Cleo, call me now, that they were going to win that game. But I can't say that I'm shocked. And the reason I can't say I'm shocked is because we have seen the Pacers do this all playoffs long. We have seen Tyrese Haliburton do this all playoffs, y'all. I mean, you do remember round 1. Against the Bucks, Haliburton takes Giannis Antetokounmpo to the cup, game winner, gets that one done. Yeah. Round 2, against the Cavs, Haliburton makes his first free throw, he misses his second free throw, step back, gets the bucket. That's the game 1 bucket. You're about to see the game 2 bucket. I'm gonna tell you through all the storylines. Step back, bucket. Round 3, against the Knicks, Haliburton, step back, bucket, choke signal. That ended up being a game winner because they ultimately won that game. This is game 3. How then can you be surprised when he does it in round 4? People, how? I can't be shocked. I can't be surprised. This is what the Pacers do. Cardiac kids are literally never out of it. I'm also reminded of, against the Cavs, they were heavy underdogs, minus 8.5 points. Against the Thunder, it's minus 9.5 points. But this is what the Pacers do. Simply put, sometimes destiny beats talent. And I believe that this Pacers team is a team of destiny. I've seen it before with NFL teams. I've seen it before with NBA teams where less talented on-paper teams win. Sometimes teams of destiny beat teams of great talent. I believe this team, Pacers, is a team of great destiny. Not confirming that they are going to win the series, but what I can say is I'm not shocked that they did in game 1 what they did every game during the course of a series this season. Can't be shocked. But 2-5 were you, sir?
Yeah, I'm real shocked. Like, real shocked. I can't believe it. Like, this really happened. But then I thought about it. Shouldn't be that shocked. You know why? Because it happens sometimes. When a dominant team loses to a not dominant team. We talk about the Lakers in 2001 against the Sixers.
Yep.
Allen Iverson, now, he had 48 points. He was on his thing. But they still lost. I mean, that won that game, the Lakers lost. Mm-hmm. And then you know what happened, James Jones? Because that's around my area. That's back home.
2, 3, 4 in a row.
They lost 4 in a row. So I'm okay with that, Acho. I'm okay with that.
Now,
but if it feels like March Madness. Like if you just watch the way that the Pacers play, like you would think that Haliburton, if he didn't watch the game, he must have killed, hit the game winner. Yeah. No, he only had like 14 points, and he was really in the back the whole game. And if you really watch it, they had to lead the whole game by like double digits. But if you keep the Pacers around, they'll find a way to make plays. I just don't think that they can keep this up. 14 points, 15 points, 17, 18, like. Eventually, though, that's going to crack. And when it crack, I got my money outside to make some more money on the OKC Thunder.
It's very, very, very shocking. Number one, they put up the stat and they said Tyrese Haliburton got 4 buzzer beaters.
Yeah, in this playoffs.
Reggie Miller got 5 in his whole career in the playoffs, and Brian got like 8. Like, this stuff don't happen. What we are witnessing right now with the Indiana Pacers and Tyrese Haliburton, like, this is crazy, man. Like, I don't know who's with him. Jim Irsay, the angel flying, rest in peace. But somebody is helping him because it doesn't work out like this all the time. You done got 4 buzzer beaters in really 4 different series, and you took the lead on the road in 4 different series. Like, this is very shocking, and especially the way it happened. Like, if you look at that game, They had 24 turnovers in that game. Your best player, your all-star player, had 14 points and 6 assists. He didn't really play a dominant game. Yes, he hit, the game winner buzzer beater, but they were really getting dominated that whole basketball game. They led with 0.3 seconds left. That's the only time they led in the whole game. Like, when you watch that game, it really wasn't a game. Now, kudos to them for sticking around and keeping it close and having an opportunity at the end, but it was very shocking for them to go in there in game one in OKC and win that game, especially the way it happened.
Hey, well, we are most privileged to be joined by somebody who was actually at the game. I would suggest has been to every NBA Finals, if I'm not mistaken, an NBA analyst, Rachel Nichols. Rachel, we were talking off camera before the show started, and you suggested this was one of the wildest moments and wildest atmospheres you have been a part of in Finals history. Obviously, you were there for the Kyrie shot, the Ray Allen step back. But before I ask you any question, please paint the picture of the scene last night in the arena.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Oklahoma City, guys, is one of the craziest places to play in the NBA. The crowd, they stand until the first bucket. It is that college environment. You see everybody wearing the T-shirts. And Rick Carlisle even said that in the timeouts, he couldn't even hear his team half the time. He said the decibels are so high. So you have all of that energy. But, man, you can feel that crowd getting nervous as the Pacers get it closer and closer and closer and closer in the fourth quarter. And it was so quiet at the end of that game after he hit that shot. I mean, you could hear 18,000 people leaving the building individually. It was an absolute shocker. And what James said, I want you guys to think about that a little bit more. The Pacers led this game, this 48-minute basketball game, for 0.3 seconds. That's the entire lead they had. It was just the correct 0.3 seconds, the last 0.3 seconds.
That's wild. Rachel, what was the moment, would you suggest, that the crowd knew they were in trouble, right? Up by 15 with 9 minutes left. I'm sure they're like, oh, this is blouses. I remember Caruso got an and one going to the cup. J-Dub looked at him, and I think in their minds they were like, oh, that was the bucket that solidifies this game. What was the moment that the crowd, the coaches, maybe the bench of the Thunder knew, we got a problem?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think that the people on the Thunder side, I think the players and the coaches, they knew that they were having a problem because they have seen and studied what this Pacer team can do. I think the crowd sort of started to realize a couple minutes toward the end of the game. But one of the things you want to look at is, you mentioned all the turnovers that the Pacers had. First of all, they're going into game two thinking, we're not going to do that again. So we'll get into it later, guys, on who's winning the rest of this series. But I think that both teams have a lot to clean up. I will say, though, that if you do cough up 25 turnovers, what you have to do is go back and defend. And that's what Indiana did. And that's what gave us a little hint earlier in the game that maybe this was going to turn out the way it did, because they only got, the Thunder only got 11 points off of Indiana's 25 turnovers. And that tells you right there that they are not taking advantage of what they are being literally given. And that was maybe a little bit of a sign that the Thunder were in more trouble during this game than it might have initially looked.
Rachel, hang with us. I got a question for the crew at the desk, but I want you to chime in after I ask it to them. Shady, you said something that I draw issue with to a degree. You said that the Thunder are just a better team playing against the worst team, all of these things. On paper, you might suggest that's facts. Yeah. But at this point in time, and through 17 games of the playoffs that both teams, coincidentally enough, have played, the Thunder are 12-5 with the loss to the Pacers. The Pacers are 13-4 with the win over the Thunder. At what point in time do we just need to, like we've always said, update our information? At the end of the day, we all want to believe, and the regular season 82 games would suggest that the Thunder are a better basketball team. All NBA teams might suggest that the Thunder are a better basketball team. Shai Gilgeous' MVP might suggest that the Thunder are a better basketball team. But since March 10th, Pacers haven't lost back-to-back games, one of the best records in basketball, if not the best record in basketball. They have a better playoff record than the Thunder, and they beat the Thunder in the playoffs through one game. At what point in time, Shady, do we need to update our information and say, you know what, the Pacers might just be better than we think? And crazy enough, the Pacers might. Operative word here is might. The Pacers might just be better than the Thunder.
Good point. Good point. I like how you put that. You think the Pacers are going to win this series?
I can't believe it yet.
But what do you think?
No, I don't. If I was putting money on it, I'm still betting Thunder.
I'm James the same way. Me too. This loss doesn't show me anything, right? I'm happy that they're fighting. I didn't think it would just be a sweep. But I just think about this a couple of different things. One is, Rachel just told you that with 0.3 seconds they led. Mm-hmm. So my thing is, okay, we're going to go to this next game. Now, the Pacers, if I know them, they don't turn the ball over. They don't do that. Why you turn the ball over this time? What's the difference? That defense. That defense is the difference. I think when you go back and you go another game 2, I think we'll see a different Thunders team. I need guys to contribute. Jay Will, I need him to contribute like he's been doing. And I look at also, if we look at the Pacers, you telling me they're going to beat this team 3 more times? Nobody having over 20 points? I just can't see that, right? And then when people be having leads late in the game, things have to go wrong. You know what I mean? You have to defensive assignments, giving up open threes. At one point, it was like 2 minutes left. They were up like 6 or 9 points, and they found a way to cut that down. Now, the Pacers, they have been doing that. It's just hard for me to say this team's going to beat them 3 more times.
Shady, you be in that book.
No, real quick, because sometimes you need a wake-up call. Yeah. Everybody's patting you on the back how great you are. Man, you so good. Oh, MVP, this. And you feel yourself. We all, Rachel, we all been there. We just so good, right? And then somebody wakes you up. Oh, wow. Oh, okay, let me wake up. Let me really...
Here's my thing, Rachel, with Shady right now, because Shady be in that book. He be in that good book. I be praying.
I be praying a lot.
I don't know if I need to call him Shady or Thomas, because he be doubting right now. Like, do you need to see the holes in the hands 2-5? Do you need to see the holes? We keep saying, like, how many times is this going to happen? It keeps happening. Like, at the point in time, how many times is it going to happen? Well, it did to Giannis. How many times is it going to happen? Well, it did to Spidey. How many times is it going to happen? Well, it did it to Brunson. How many times is it going to happen? He did it game 1. How many times do you need to see it to believe? How you not a believer yet?
I never was into like the Cinderella movies and Cinderella endings in NCAA basketball. And when I watched the Pacers, they remind me of a really good college program. Yeah. I'm all about the pros, dog.
They're in the NBA Finals.
And I love
with a lead.
Listen, I heard what you're saying. And if I had to bet any money, right, if anybody wants to take this bet, holla at me. You guys are up 1-0. I'm going to take the SGA and the Thunder team to win the series. Yeah.
It's tough
guys,
because of...
Go ahead, Rachel. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to remind you guys that the Thunder had a very similar heartbreaking loss to the Nuggets in that round of the playoffs, and they came back and won the next game by 43 points.
Tell him, Rachel. He didn't hear you. Tell him again.
just to Shady's point, that they do know how to bounce back from something like this. I don't expect them to lose the rebounding battle that they did the way, we saw last night. I don't expect them to maybe go as small to start the game. I think we'll see a little bit more height added back into the lineup. So, Shady, you got some points. There's no doubt. But I also think that what Acho is saying is true. We have to understand this is who the Pacers are. They are going to fight you for 48 minutes, not 47 minutes and 35 seconds. They are going to fight you for every single second, quarter second, 0.03 of a second on the clock. And that if you are playing them, you have to understand if they get it within 5 points in those last 5 minutes, this is absolutely who Tyrese Haliburton is, and he will make you pay.
Yeah, it's just tough to think that it's going to continue. And I understand what you're saying, Thomas holes in the hands and all that, but it's like playing football and you got a team that has won 4 game 1s all on Hail Marys. You know what I mean? At one point, they not finna win another game on it. And then how the Pacers did it. So you go to the Cavs and they don't have 2 of their best players on the basketball court. All right? Then you go to the Knicks, kudos. The ball bounces up on the rim and comes down and falls down, and you win that game. And then now you come here and you lead in a game with 0.3 seconds. I think that's why a lot of the doubts still keeps creeping in, is because they ain't really been like dominant in the whole playoffs, and we're still doubting the Indiana Pacers. They have not been dominant. And then even this last game, to be having the lead for 0.3 seconds, they were getting dominated the whole basketball game. So I can't watch the whole basketball game and say, man, hey, it's a heck of a bucket by Tyrese Haliburton, but the OKC Thunder should be scared that they could lose 3 more games to the Indiana Pacers. I can't watch that basketball game and say that, even with the lucky shots that they hit in the other series.
Rachel, I got a question, because this is Rachel still here? Make sure Rachel's still with us. Call and tell me. Okay, great. I got a question, because this reminds me of, I think it was 2007, but an elongated version of this. Do you remember that Warriors We Believe team? 8-seeded that dismantled the Mavericks, 1 seed. And like the Warriors, they just had belief. They had momentum. They got hot. But they only did that for a series, because I believe the next series they went on to lose. Producer, you're a Warriors fan. They go on to lose to the Jazz.
Yes.
So this reminds me almost of an elongated version that's never ending of We Believe. Like the Pacers, a 4 seed, if I'm not mistaken, somehow beat the Bucks, but that's fair. Dame Lillard gets hurt and the Bucks weren't all that good. Then you beat the Cavs, the 1-seeded Cavs, 64-plus win team Cavs. But, Darius Garland was hurt. Evan Mobley kind of hurt. But then you beat the Knicks. You beat the Knicks in 6. This almost reminds me of one of those destiny type of teams. Can you speak to, because you've covered basketball for so long, are we witnessing, experiencing, and living through one of those moments that kind of transcend talent?
I think there's absolutely those kinds of teams, and we see them win the NBA Finals, right? There's some teams that we see win, they're crown champion, and you're like, yep, we knew it the whole time. And then I always like to say the NBA, every once in a while, throws you a champion that's, it's scotch tape and little, erasers holding things in behind the scenes, but just that little bit of magic, and that is enough to win you an NBA title. So I think the Pacers absolutely are a we believe kind of team, like that Warriors squad. They 100% think in that locker room that they have what it takes to win an NBA Finals. And to me, this game influences what we're going to see for the rest of the series. I'm not changing necessarily to that I think the Thunder are still the favorite here, but I do think that now what they believe in the Pacers locker room is also what OKC believes. And there's now going to be that little bit of doubt in the back of their minds every time they get into a fourth quarter against this Pacers team. And that is going to affect the rest of the series. I think that if the Pacers had stolen, let's say, game 2 of this series, I don't think it would have as much of an influence going forward as it is that they did it in game 1. I think it's just going to set the tone, and we are in for a long one, gentlemen.
Rachel, one quick one, because we have to transition to Aaron Rodgers here momentarily, but one more quick one. I was shocked to see Coach Dagnall make that change to the starting lineup. I almost say advantage Rick Carlisle. If you're 12-4 in the playoffs thus far, you're 3-0 in game 1s, if you're supposed to be the better team, if you're the juggernaut, if you're the big dog, why don't you make them adjust to you? Why do you adjust to them? Why in the world, Hartenstein, Chet, J-Dub, Shea, Dort, it's worked. It's worked to the tune of nearly 70 wins. It's worked. It's worked to the tune of 3-0 game 1s. It's worked. It's worked to the tune of a 12-4 playoff record thus far. It's worked. It's worked to the tune of absolutely dismantling the Minnesota Timberwolves. Why now get to the big stage and you make a change, but Carlisle and the Pacers don't? Are you currently going advantage Rick Carlisle, advantage coaching Pacers?
Well, I mean, it's funny. I asked Mark Dagnall before the game, who's given you advice? Because you've never been on this stage. And he said, well, this is very embarrassing for me, Rachel. Actually, I don't have that many friends in coaching circles who've been here before. Thanks for bringing it up. He said, I don't have Pat Riley's phone number. So now I think we maybe need to get him Pat Riley's phone number after something like this. Rick Carlisle has obviously been here before. He doesn't need advice from anyone. I think, look, the Oklahoma City coaching staff, you understood why they made the lineup move. It made sense when you looked at this matchup. But I do agree with you. I think you go in with what's working. You save that adjustment for if and when you need it. And I do think that they're going to adjust back a little bit for game 2.
Hey, Rachel, real quick. The spread from this game is -11 for OKC. I'm gonna take that spread. I'm gonna take that.
43 points. I just want to say it again. The last time they were embarrassed like this, they came back and they won by 43.
Yeah, that's right. Rachel, hang with us for a moment. We'll get right back to you after we talk this breaking news. Hey, Aaron Rodgers finally let it be known that he is going to sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers. What does that mean? The Steelers are better, but more importantly, they play the Jets week 1 and the Packers week 8. Absolute bliss and glory for NFL fans. But how good will the Steelers actually be with Rodgers? Hey, check us out every day, Fox Sports Channel on SiriusXM, will you? It finally happened. Aaron Rodgers confirming he will join the Steelers, and he said he'll do so by minicamp. That begins June 10th. Christmas has come early for the Steelers because Aaron Rodgers has arrived. Rodgers, James, we've been waiting to hear this news for months now. We all thought it would happen. You know him personally. Obviously, you won a Super Bowl with him. You spoke to him. You said in private. Now that Aaron Rodgers has said in public, you had been told us this was going to happen, and now it's happened. But how good, James, because we've all been waiting, how good will Aaron Rodgers make the Steelers? How good will the Steelers be?
Well, they're a playoff team now, again. And once you get to the playoffs, anything can happen. We all know you just want to punch your ticket to the dance. They are a playoff team. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers, the 4-time MVP, walks into this building, the starter, and all them other dudes can take a deep breath and say, okay, we can learn now from Aaron Rodgers. Coach Tomlin should have a smile on his face this morning because now your team has a chance to compete. A couple days ago, your team did not have a chance to compete. But Aaron Rodgers walking into that building, instantly you are a playoff team. You are going to get into the playoffs, and whatever may happen in those playoffs may happen. But I believe Aaron Rodgers still has a lot of good football left in him. at a really good level. I mean, you look at him last year, 28 touchdown passes, almost 4,000 yards passing. I think he has a lot of good football left in him. I think this relationship with him and Coach Tomlin is going to be phenomenal. Aaron used to talk about Coach Tomlin all the time. He respects the heck out of Coach Tomlin. I think this is going to be a really good fit when you talk about coach to quarterback. I think it's going to be really good. I'm excited for the Steelers, man, for the Steelers to have a chance to go out there and compete with Aaron Rodgers and take the field knowing that you got a chance to win.
I can't. What you so excited for? You said all that to say nothing, man.
I just told you.
Listen, I'm going to just be honest. You said that now everybody's excited about the play. They always go to the playoffs. Can't be excited about something you always do. That's it. Aaron Rodgers is what, turning 41 years old?
41, yeah.
Or is he already 41, turning 42? You know him better than I know. I think we stuck on the old Aaron Rodgers. Even just the way like we follow his path. Is he signing with him? Is he not signing with him? And it's like, since when we do all this for a 41-year-old quarterback? Yeah. It ain't Tom Brady. Yeah. If Tom Brady was coming to Steelers, yo, man, we about to see something we haven't seen before. You've seen Aaron Rodgers before. You've seen him with Russell Wilson. Seen him with Kenny Pickett. They'll take their team to the playoffs. Now, it might look a little different. Yep. Might be a little nice little sidearm pass. It might be 40-yard bomb. The DK might look different.
It's going to look different.
It's going to be the same results. And I think that we're not saying like he is not getting better at 41. And the team you with, did the offensive line get better? No. The running game, did that get better? No. Maybe, I guess you got better wide receiver, depending on how you look at DK, look at Pickett.
How you look at
defense. Did defense get better? No.
Yeah.
Not really. Because your best player, he's still out. We should try to, they're going to work that deal out with TJ Watt. All I'm saying is, when I watched the Steelers last year, they had bad defensive play, bad running game, bad O-line play. That's not really changing that much. And you bring in a 41, 42-year-old quarterback, you think it's going to be a difference? The only difference is maybe it's going to look different, but it's going to be the same results. Good. Playoffs, because they always do playoffs with anybody, Kenny Pickett, Russell, whoever you want. But that's it. That's all. Yeah. That's all.
Playoffs is going to be a stretch, I think. I mean, 9-10 wins maybe, but third in their division. Ravens are winning it. I think the Bengals are going to be better. Steelers, and then you got the Browns. So third in your division in the AFC North, I don't think it makes you to a playoffs. Now, they're not going to be all world beaters because Rodgers signed. I do think they're going to be better than what they were. I thought they were a 5-6 win team with Mason Rudolph and Will Howard. So at least they have the quarterback figured out. But they lost their leading passer, they lost their leading rusher, and they lost their leading receiver this offseason. There's a lot of holes there. Aaron Rodgers fills one of them. The last 3 times that had happened where a team had lost their passer, rusher, and receiver all leading the team, those teams finished 2-15, 3-13, 5-11. That dates back to 2018. So I don't know what we're seeing here because, like Shady said, the defense has not gotten better, in my opinion. And then you lose your leading passer, rusher, and receiver. It just doesn't make a lot of sense that they're just going to be all world beaters. Now, Aaron Rodgers might have some flashes. There might be some fool's gold in there. But I'm really interested to break it down what the relationship between Arthur Smith and Aaron Rodgers is going to be like. Because, James, you know, Rodgers likes shotgun, stagnant formations. He likes to see stuff, and he likes to audible. When you look at what Arthur Smith has done, it's under center, it's play action, it's lean on the run game, it's shifts, it's motions. I think Arthur Smith can handle it because last year he went from Justin Fields to Russell Wilson, two completely separate quarterbacks, had success with both. And this is the hope that Steelers fans should have is that he did turn around Ryan Tannehill's career in Tennessee. So there is that dynamic, and I'm glad he signed here so at least he can maybe be on the field. But, guys, I just don't see this being more than 9-10 wins.
He makes them better, obviously. Yeah. He gives them hope, obviously. Shady, James, and myself, we were having a conversation. I won't say who with the athlete, but with the current NFL player who's on a team right now that's kind of quarterback-less. He's been a veteran in the NFL, played some really good football, probably going to go into the Hall of Fame. And he was just talking about how he lacks hope in this season right now because they ain't got a Q.
True.
They got young Qs, they got ambiguous Qs, but they ain't got a quarterback. At least now, TJ Watt, Patrick Queen, Minkah Fitzpatrick, Darius Slay, at least now the veteran defensive players on that team have hope going into that team. Yes, Cam Hayward, excuse me for that absence and that omission. At least they got hope. I think they're a 10-win team. I'm kind of with Chase. I'm kind of with Shady. I give them one more win than Chase. I give them the same. They'll make the playoffs, and I think they'll lose in the playoffs like Shady. They have hope, though, and that matters. But, James, what you would have to convince me of is even Vegas didn't move their over-under spread of winning 8.5 games after Aaron Rodgers signed. Yeah. So Vegas, like Shady, doesn't think that Aaron Rodgers is going to make that substantial of a difference. Do you think now Rodgers will get them to playoff win? Not even win. A win.
Well, I mean, that's tough to say, and that's why I just said playoffs. Because, and I didn't say playoff win because even though Aaron is my guy, and y'all know how I believe in Aaron Rodgers, the last 2 seasons he hasn't delivered that. You know what I mean? Now, I believe he played some really good football last year, but he hasn't delivered that. So that's why I said playoffs, and I did not say playoff wins. Now, as this season goes on and I see how the Pittsburgh Steelers look, obviously, updated information, your answer would change. But right now, as I sit here today, I still just say playoffs because I don't know how this team is going to look. I know they're going to be better with Aaron Rodgers, but defensively, offensively, I don't know how they're going to look. Now, I do know they've been chasing Aaron Rodgers for a very, very long time. So if you're Arthur Smith like Chase is talking about, and you know you've been chasing Aaron Rodgers for a long time, and you don't have no plan for him, and you're talking about under center in the shotgun, you better have a game plan. Yeah. You've been up there with Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin been telling everybody in the building, Aaron Rodgers going to be here. He coming around the corner. All right? So if you don't have a plan for him, that's on you. But Aaron Rodgers coming into the building makes him better. I just don't know how much better.
Yeah, I mean, look, Shady brought up a really good point about their offensive line play because they had 2 mobile quarterbacks last year in Justin Fields and Russell Wilson that sort of helped alleviate some of that weakness of the offensive line because both of those guys move. Aaron Rodgers, coming off an Achilles, I know he played well down the stretch. The last 10 games, I thought he played actually pretty well. He doesn't move like he did. He doesn't extend plays like he once was. So you're looking at a lot of quick game. How is he going to hold up? He is 41, turning 42. How is he going to hold up behind that offensive line? Because, like Shady said, Jalen Warren and Caleb Johnson are your lead backs. It's not like they can lean on the run game early in the year. They're going to have to lean on the quick pass game. Defenses are going to be sitting on them. It just brings a whole nother dynamic on how the Rodgers Steelers want to win.
I just got a couple questions for you, Aaron Rodgers believers. I guess James I'm talking to.
I got answers.
Before the year started, would you have said the Jets team was probably better than the Steelers team?
Last year?
Last year. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. I can help you out because I watched you say, hold up, before you answer, because I watched you say that you thought the Jets would win that division. You thought the Jets would win that division. You thought, yeah, that's what you thought.
The first year before Aaron tore his Achilles, that year. Not last year, 2 years ago.
Last year when Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback, I'm a quarterback.
Yeah.
You said,
first year I said
you said that they was going to win the division.
The first year. For the Achilles.
But you thought the Jets last year were better than the Steelers.
Oh, man. Can you stop this?
The Jets last year better than
the Jets was better than the Steelers last year. Before the year started, you thought they were...
No.
You know what it is. All I'm saying is Aaron Rodgers' name is so big. I think we do this in all sports. You ever see like a big signing from an NBA player and his name? Like, yo, we about to get... But you getting the name. Yeah. You're not getting that old player you're thinking about. Even when you say he's going to do better with the Steelers, weird. Maybe two or three more touchdown passes, maybe 200 or 300 yards in a passing game. It's going to be the same results. And then we watched Aaron Rodgers for him to be that good. And I think he had a better team last year with the Jets. We all can say that the Jets team was better than the Steelers, roster-wise. Yeah. Bro, the brother won 5 games. Yeah. And we having a whole-blown conversation. Yeah. We having a waiting deadline, right, celebration on winning signs to the Steelers. And my man won 5 games last year, and we having a conversation about it. And you know why that is? Because his name is so big. Because it ain't his play no more. For sure. It ain't the wins. It ain't him in the postseason. It's none of that. Polarizing. It's about him and his name and the stuff he used to do. Yeah.
But see, that's where I disagree with you because you're going straight to the Jets and the wins, and you're not going to what Aaron Rodgers looked like last year as a quarterback. If you watch, and no, I'm being dead serious. If you watch Aaron Rodgers play quarterback last year, all these dudes that's getting paid and getting contracts and all that, Aaron Rodgers had a year just like them dudes, if not better. Aaron Rodgers had a better year than Patty Mahomes. It's just the team was better and they won games. But if you're just looking at the individual player, how he played, Aaron Rodgers did not play bad football like that. Now, wins-wise, the team was bad, yes. But when you talk about Aaron Rodgers, the player, they side, the whole Jets ain't coming to Pittsburgh.
I get that.
Aaron Rodgers coming to Pittsburgh.
But I know this. I work on a show with you every single day.
Yes, you do. And I'm here with you.
And we hear each other's takes.
Yes.
And I always hear you talk about quarterbacks with the stats and where they played, and you talk about their wins and losses.
I understand.
But when we talk about your homeboy, you leave out all the other stuff.
No, I don't, because if you ask me
I watch you talk about Joe, because I do the Joe Bro the same way.
Yeah.
Joe Bro, you so nice, you do this, you do that, but you ain't winning.
But what I'm saying
so when it come here, I need you to give me the same
and that was the Jets last year. I had that they're not winning. If Joe Burrow went to the Pittsburgh Steelers, I would be saying the Pittsburgh Steelers going to be a heck of a team. Joe Burrow, the Bengals ain't coming. Last year, Aaron Rodgers and the Jets were not a good football team.
I know that.
I ain't ducked and dodged that. But Aaron has played well.
You got real homeboys. That's how they better come.
Take.
It better be like Martin Lawrence. And it better be like Will Smith. That's how I need my homeboys.
From here on, that's how you support me. Hey, Aaron Rodgers is supposed to bring in big results along with the big expectations, but there was a gigantic game last night. The heroics of Tyrese Haliburton has the whole world speaking. So how confident are we officially in the Pacers? Remember, Rachel Nichols is at the game yesterday. She will be joining us once again for exclusive content regarding the atmosphere and the state of Tyrese Haliburton, who she spoke to after the game. How confident are we now that the Pacers can win it all? That's next. Pacers, gigantic underdogs. Y'all know that by now. Nobody was giving them a chance. Even last night post-game, the interviewer suggested he had no notes on the Pacers because he anticipated the Thunder winning that game. Haliburton, he got it done. Joined now by Rachel Nichols, who is live from Oklahoma City, was there at the game. Rachel, want to start with you because you were on our show last week talking about the Thunder. Obviously, we know just how good they are. But now that the Pacers got the W, how confident are you that the Pacers have swung the pendulum completely and can win the series?
Look, I would still pick the Thunder to win this series because they are still the better team for all the reasons we thought going in. But I don't think there is any question this series has changed significantly. The Thunder were being picked to win this series in 4 or 5 games, and I think that this could easily go 7. And once you get to a game 7, well, then you really never know. But I think there is a seed of doubt now in the Oklahoma City Thunder's collective minds. I think they're going to be looking over their shoulders for the entire rest of the way here. And I think the Pacers, which were already a team that had a lot of belief to begin with, now really do feel that they can do what they want here. It's not going to change the skill advantage, the size advantage that the Thunder have. They've got the MVP. But I do think there's a little bit of a confidence game going on within these finals, and that has shifted so much. You know, I did ask, Acho, I asked after the game, because Tyrese and I talked one-on-one for a bit, I asked him if he'd bought a lottery ticket at all this spring. He said the Mega Millions, not yet, but maybe after the finals.
That's a good question.
I'm starting to think, Rachel, that we're all idiots. All of us. I'm starting to think that way because we all collectively agree on the same thing. And we have for a while now. The Thunder are a better team. The Thunder are a more dominant team. The Thunder are a more talented team. The Thunder this, the Thunder that. A lot of us said it about the Knicks, too. Man, the Knicks got Brunson. The Knicks got Cat. The Knicks got the top 2 best players. Some people, definitely not all, said it about the Bucks. The Bucks are going to turn it on come playoff time. Bucks have Giannis, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year caliber player. Bucks have Doc Rivers. Say what you want about Doc Rivers. I say a lot, but Doc Rivers has won a championship. But, Rachel, we've all been proven wrong. Either we are all idiots or eventually something has to change. Because when I hear you speak, I'm like, yeah, Rachel's right. Rachel's right. Rachel's right. Rachel's right. The Pacers are up 1-0. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I'm with you. I say all that to say I'm with you. I still think the Thunder are going to win the series. I still think the Thunder are probably going to win the series in 6, maybe 7. But how dumb must I be to continue to say the Thunder are going to win the series when the Pacers are winning, when the Pacers did it last series, the series before, the Pacers have a better playoff record than the Thunder, and the Pacers just beat the Thunder. I can't say it confidently, but I'm telling you, I'm locking arms with you and saying the same thing. I'm with you, Rachel. Shady, where do you stand? How confident are you the Pacers winning?
How confident I am that the Pacers win the finals now? No. I'm not confident at all, actually. I didn't even lose no sleep. They lost the game off. They lost the game. Rachel, they lost the game. Rachel, it happens. Because we've seen this before, like a lot. Like I think when everybody's like, oh man, anticipating the dominance of a team and it don't work out that way, it's like you don't lose faith because you know how good that team is. The reason why we feel so confident about the Thunder is because the things that they do, the way that they play, how well they're coached, the way they play on defense, how they got an MVP on their team. All these things is why we are super confident about the Thunder. Now, they lost, and it's a whole series, right? Now, OKC got to win 4 games. Pacers got to win 3 games. That's how it works. I'm just more confident that they will get 4 before the Pacers get 3. That's simple as that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I have 0 confidence still in the Indiana.
0.
Yeah, you know what? Like minus point now. Yeah. Like
how? Like, you're still an incredibly intelligent individual who I've worked next to every day for maybe 3 years now. How can you watch that game and say you have 0 confidence?
The same way you watched it and just said all that and said, I'm locking arms with you, Rachel. That's Chi-Town, man. Listen, if the Pacers win this series, this will be the greatest run ever in NBA history. Before I was even alive, when basketball still was, it'll be the greatest run ever, man. That is why none of us are confident, because we are witnessing something that you really don't never see. 4 buzzer beaters to win game ones and all. You don't never really see that. It's not a really lot of star power on the Pacers team. It's a lot of dudes that get it done as a team, and kudos to them. But for them to beat this OKC Thunder team, again, I don't expect more buzzer beaters. I definitely don't expect them to dominate them and win games. I just do not see how they win 3 more games, whether they're at home, whether they're on the road. I don't know how they find a way to win 3 more games, knowing how good the OKC Thunder is. That's why we're all locking arms. That's why this is very shocking that they got game 1, because we didn't expect this. And I don't know how to expect 3 more. I just can't see it.
Rachel, if I may be honest, I would suggest you've probably forgotten more basketball than more people know. So if I can preface with that, I want you to take a look at something. Colvin, can Rachel see full screens? Rachel, take a look at this, because I want you to bring context to the viewer of what are we witnessing with Tyrese Haliburton. These are the most game-winning and game-tying field goals in the history, of playoff basketball. LeBron James, who has played for 20-plus years, he has 8. Then Reggie Miller, the late great, emphasis on great, Kobe Bryant with 5. And Tyrese Haliburton, in his embryonic career, already has 5. 4 in this postseason alone. You've forgotten more than we remember, but please tap into all that you remember. What are we witnessing with Tyrese Haliburton in real time?
No, I mean, there hasn't been a game-winning shot like this in the finals since the Michael Jordan pull-up, right, in Utah. I mean, we've got so many markers to tell us that this is greatness that we are seeing right now. And it's the kind of greatness we love. I mean, it's why Steph Curry captured the imagination when he did and was starting his run with those huge shots. These game-winning rainbow shots that we are seeing from Tyrese Haliburton that just keep going in. Someone did the math last night, and this is a crazy stat, guys, that if you sort of do the calculation of how unlikely each shot was that he's hit these game winners along the way in this playoff series, where the scores were, what the percentage of winning was, how late in the clock that they were, it is a 1 in 75 million chance that they have done this now and that he has done this 4 times. That is just, as you said, odds you don't see, things that should not happen.
Rachel, I got to cut you off. Rachel, I got to cut you off. I got it because I'm thinking, is this luck? Is this chance? Or is Haliburton just that good? And we don't know it yet, but we'll know it in 10 years, right? When Tom Brady in 2001 was leading wins versus the Raiders and everybody was like, it's luck, it's this kid, it's this and that. We didn't realize Tom Brady was going to go on to be the greatest quarterback of all time. When Mahomes threw for 50 passing touchdowns in his first season as a starter, but it's his first season, people get time to look at film on him. We didn't realize, no, what we're witnessing is actually the greatest or second greatest quarterback when he ends up being all said and done of the generation. Right now, for Haliburton, somebody who we don't esteem as an all-time great, obviously, and he doesn't have the resume to accompany it, we're just like, lucky shots, 1 in 75 million. But what if Haliburton is just beginning an all-time great career and we are living in the middle of it in the very early stages? You've seen careers start, you've seen careers end. You've seen Michael Jordan at his pinnacle, all the things. Is this luck? Or is it just like, no, Haliburton actually might just be the next great player, the most clutch we've ever seen?
Yeah, I don't think it's luck. I wouldn't say it's luck at all. You can't do this as many times as he's done it. It is an innate sense of the moment and the skill to back it up. I do not think this is indicative that he is going to be one of the NBA greats, because you're talking about guys who had all-around games. You talk about Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes. Tyrese Haliburton, the thing he is showing us over and over in this playoffs is not, oh my gosh, he might be one of the greatest point guards of all time. He is showing us he might be one of the great clutch performers of all time. And that, I think, is not luck. And I don't think we have to wait and see how that gestates to develop. I think we can say it right now. Look at what he has done. The track record is already there. And the fact that he just pulled this off in an NBA Finals is absolutely mind-boggling when you think of what he has already done these playoffs. I think you can already say it. I just don't think you can expand it out to his entire game or what kind of player he is, because that's what he hasn't shown us yet.
I hate to rain on anybody's parade, right? And I love to keep the lights bright and don't dim them at all. But were you trying to say that You think he's gonna be one of the greatest point guards of all time? I'm just trying to, because I'm happy that the game winners, the step backs, the choke. Oh, I like all that. I actually like him more than I ever did because he's showing me another side of him. Like, yo, I am a competitor. You know what I'm saying? I do compete. I do talk a little trash, right? But I just want to make sure we're on the same page here.
He's saying
I'm not saying that. I think
I know you're not, but the guy that my left. Were you trying to say that?
Say we could be witnessing it.
I'm trying to say this. That, Rachel, with all due respect to all the books I've written and the books I've read.
We love them books. We love them books.
I can't wrap my mind around what I'm seeing.
Okay.
Like, well, I was watching a documentary or just different interviews on Big Shot Bob, on Robert Ory, right? And Robert Ory was saying how, like, it wasn't chance. Like, don't try me, it wasn't chance. But Robert Ory obviously wasn't, to my knowledge, an Olympian. He wasn't the caliber of player at the height that Tyrese Haliburton is. Yeah. So the reason I can't wrap my mind around this 2-5 and Rachel and James is like, bad players don't do elite things.
Yeah.
Good players don't consistently do elite things. Elite players consistently do elite things. And Tyrese Haliburton is consistently doing an elite thing, thus he must be an elite player. I always love, James, whether you hear it in church or whether you hear it in life, like you judge something by the fruit it produces. And if Haliburton is producing game-winning, elite-level fruit, he got to be an elite-level, crazy player. So I can't wrap my mind around
that. I know your mind's going crazy. You can't wrap. I get all that. But when you say, like, the greatest, and you start, and you whispering the steps and all that, it just, some people like myself, other people watching might just be like, what's Asha trying to say? Because sometimes you don't say it, you like beat around the bush.
I don't know.
So honest, because Rachel said what she said, I agree with Rachel was saying. James would.
Yeah. I'm not with Acho.
Okay, all right.
Don't be. Because truth be told, like, I'm in a dissonant position right now. I don't know where I am.
I know where you're trying to go, and that's the tough position we're all in.
And that door's closed, though. When you go in, that door's closed.
That's the tough position we're in right now because we are seeing this dude hit buzzer beater after buzzer beater. But we also are seeing this dude score 8 points, and we also seen him score 14 points last night. It just happened to be, the biggest one was the game winner. Now, Shady don't believe in luck like me. I believe you need luck. Cavs series, for you to be at the free throw line and that ball to go through all them bigs to get the rebound and bounce back to you. For you to get that ball, shoot that three, I believe that's a little luck on your side. For you to be in New York and that thing go boom off the rim and way up there and come down and drop in, that's luck. Last night, skill, right? I got the ball at half court. I'm going to get to my spot. Boom, mid-range jumper, cool. To me, that's skill. Going by Giannis, I say that's skill. But 2 of them shots, you need a little luck on your side to me. So what he's doing is special, and we're witnessing something that we've never witnessed before. I mean, you've seen the greatest dudes up there with 5 in their whole career and 8 in their whole career, been playing for 20-plus years, and you got 4 in one playoff run. So that's what we're witnessing is special. But at the same time, I can't sit here and lean towards Acho, or is it this way, lean towards Acho and say greatest of all time and all that. Now, like I said, this is one of the greatest runs of all time that we are seeing, whether we like it or not, with Haliburton and the Pacers. It's one of the greatest runs ever.
Rachel, I think it was 2001, Philadelphia 76ers, Allen Iverson, heavy underdogs. AI crosses up Ty Lue.
Has buckets, though. What do you have, 48 or something?
Steps 48. Finishes that game, is a heavy underdog. The Sixers won. Sixers fans, like the Pacers fans in this building, shout out Stevie, think they had a chance. They didn't. They ended up losing the next 4 games. Cut to Detroit Pistons, 2004. Lakers are trying to four-peat. Detroit Pistons, again, heavy underdogs. They actually end up winning that series 4-1. What are we witnessing right now with the Pacers? Are we witnessing the 76ers, or are we witnessing the Detroit Pistons? Are we witnessing a team that, look, they got the game won, but that's the last game they're going to get? Or are we witnessing the Detroit Pistons versus the Lakers 2004? They might just bring the entire upset. What are we closer to witnessing?
Yeah, I think those, first of all, those are 2 great series, but I'm not sure either one of them is going to be the blueprint or the script for this series because you just got different sort of relationships between the teams. I mean, I consider Allen Iverson our greatest living American. Thank you very much, because he was that much of a basketball hero for me when I was younger. And he can do no wrong, and he absolutely can die. I said a little bit of magic earlier in this show. He had a little bit of magic during that game, and that was really all that was going to happen. Philadelphia was an underdog in a different way than the Pacers are in this series. I think that, again, you've started now a chess match that maybe didn't exist when we tipped off last night. I think that there was such a heavy feeling that the Thunder were inevitable. And the Pacers have inserted that doubt. They have now said, no. Nothing is inevitable when we are around. That doesn't mean, however, that they now have the key to unlock this series. I think it is going to be a long battle. They know that. They talked about it last night. Tyrese Haliburton, when he and I spoke, he was saying, oh, this is just the beginning. Now we've got to get this one. Rick Carlisle, he tells his team this is day 1 of 17. This is, the series could go 17 days. We're only on day 1 of 17. So I'm not sure we're going to see the Thunder just roll into 4 straight the way you did with that Lakers team. But I'm not sure that these are the Pistons either. I think we got a long way to go before we can say that.
I don't know how much time we got, but I want to ask all you guys a question. Who do you think is more confident after this game? The OKC Thunder or the Pacers?
Crazy enough, I would say the Pacers. Delusional confidence.
I'm saying Pacers. Yeah. You went to OKC. OKC's hard to win over there. Yeah. You beat them at home?
Yeah. And 25 turnovers? Yeah. Rachel, where you at?
Yeah, look, the Pacers certainly feel like they can play a much better ball game. They know they win by the skin of their teeth, but they say they're going to come out much better. They are over incredibly confident. But there is a quiet confidence leaving the locker room last night with this Thunder team also. Again, they had a very difficult game 1 against the Nuggets in the second round. They lost a game that they were up and they should have won just like this one. And then they came back and made such a statement in game 2, winning by more than 40 points. So they feel they've got that in them again, too. I think both teams are walking out of that building pretty confident last night.
Incredibly. Rachel, keep crushing it. You're doing phenomenal. You there for game 2? How many games you there for?
I'm here for a couple, but then I'm back with you guys next week. So
amazing.
I'll see you.
We cannot wait.
No tickets for us, huh, Rachel? You left us here?
Hey, it's tough in this economy.
Okay, I mean it. Bye.
All right, Rachel, we'll see you. Hey, on the flip side, we know that the Steelers have their quarterback, but now that head coach has his quarterback, who's under more pressure? Is it the Hall of Fame Mike Tomlin, the Hall of Fame Aaron Rodgers? Somebody has to deliver, please. Shout out to Rachel, making one of the greatest ever. This is a huge news. Don't even think about changing the channel. Mike Tomlin, we've let him off the hook, I would suggest, for far too long. Aaron Rodgers, we've been heavily scrutinizing him for the last 2 to 3 seasons. And now Tomlin and Rodgers are joining forces. So who in the world is under more pressure? The quarterback that hasn't won a playoff game since 2021? Or the coach that hasn't won a playoff game since 2016? A lot of pressure on both of them. James, you only played with one of them, so I'll let you start this conversation. More pressure, Tomlin or Rodgers?
This ain't close, man. It's Aaron Rodgers. Before Rodgers got there, y'all be, that's my brother. I'm always gonna have his back, but I'm gonna keep it real too. Okay. It's not close. It's not close. Before Aaron Rodgers got there, you had him winning how many games?
5. 4 or 5.
You got him obviously going
9,
to the
10.
playoffs or close to the playoffs now, right? You cannot put pressure on Mike Tomlin. Aaron Rodgers is throwing the football. Mike Tomlin has showed us each and every year, like Shady said, Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, he's going to end up in one place, and that is the playoffs. He's going to have a winning football season. But when you get to the playoffs, he doesn't have that guy to help him win in the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers has to be that guy. All the pressure's on Aaron Rodgers to come in here and get the Pittsburgh Steelers to the playoffs and get them over that hump of winning a playoff game. That is why they waited on him. That is why they didn't go try to trade for nobody, didn't draft nobody high, because they wanted their guy in Aaron Rodgers. Coach Mike Tomlin did. Well, you got him. And now all the pressure is on Aaron Rodgers to go out here and deliver, and not in the regular season, in the playoffs to get a playoff win. I don't think any of the pressure is on Tomlin. I think all of the pressure is on Aaron Rodgers to go out here, deliver, and win a playoff game from Coach Mike Tomlin. I don't think he has any.
How many times Aaron Rodgers won MVP?
4.
For him.
Super Bowl, right?
He has a Super Bowl MVP too.
He does not have any pressure on him at all. He's playing one more season, and you think he cares, or it'll be part of his legacy if he doesn't lead the Pittsburgh Steelers to the playoffs? No, that's why I'm going with Mike Tomlin, and for me, it's not even close. Look at this quote. January 14th of 2025 when the season ended. This is from Mike Tomlin on the Steelers' strategy moving forward. I'm open to adaptation and change, and have been. And so it's not a new discussion. Here's what I want you to really pay attention to. It's not like I've been doing the same things over and over. And I would say that's completely false, because you have been doing the same thing over and over. The Steelers have been in this situation before. An aging quarterback trying to resurrect his career that needs to be propped up by the NFL's most expensive defense. They tried the model last season with 36-year-old Russell Wilson. What did it get them? A first-round exit, not a playoff win. Russell Wilson went 6-5. They did it with Big Ben in his late 30s for a few years. Ben was 9-7 his last season. It didn't work. They're trying to do it again with Aaron Rodgers this year and what possibly could be Aaron Rodgers' last season as a pro. Of course, there's some good flashes, but it hasn't gotten them anywhere in terms of playoff success. A bunch of fool's gold in there, some highlights, but they're not winning playoff games. They're doing exactly what Mike Tomlin said he wasn't doing, and the definition of that in the dictionary, if I'm not wrong, Acho, is insanity. They're doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, and the results have not come. We can talk about Rodgers, this, that, and another. This is squarely on Mike Tomlin because now, if this doesn't work out, the whispers last year was like, Mike Tomlin needs to move on, and Mike Tomlin needs an Andy Reid moment. Can you imagine if they don't make the playoffs this year and they have yet to still develop a playoff quarterback?
That's well said. 2-5, where you stand? More pressure, Tomlin or Rodgers?
Yeah, I'm going to go Tomlin for a lot of different reasons. One is Aaron Rodgers there for 1 year. It's a rental, right? And what are you going to say about Aaron Rodgers if he doesn't play well? Like nothing happens, right? You've been waiting for this guy. He's older. But I really don't think so. He's at the tail end of his career, right? We watch him win only 5 games for the Jets. Then he comes to the Steelers, and we think he's going to make a big splash. I really don't think so. So there's really no pressure. If he doesn't do well for the Steelers and he moves on to wherever he does in his career, I'm going to remember him as a Packer.
Yeah.
I'm going to remember Aaron Rodgers as a 4-time MVP, as one of the best throwers of this game. I'm not going to be like, man, he looked terrible when he played for the Steelers. No. We're going to be like, Mike Tomlin, what's next for the Steelers? Because I don't think they're not firing Mike Tomlin, but the questions is going to be more to him or not directed to Aaron Rodgers. What are you doing for the future of the Steelers? What's next for the Steelers? Your defense is getting a little older. You need a quarterback. You need this. You need that. He's going to get all the questions. He's getting all the smoke. Aaron, listen, he's going to retire, and we still going to look at him as one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah. I understand the future. But this season, we talking about one season.
We're talking about right now.
We're talking about 1 year, and y'all saying the pressure's on Tomlin for 1 year. If you talk about the future, absolutely. If this don't go as planned, you're going to have to answer a bunch of questions. But for 1 year, and you waited on this quarterback, the quarterback got to deliver, man.
I could see that if you're just focusing on the micro of this season, because my answer says Tomlin, but hearing James, I'm like, Rodgers has a lot of pressure this season. His name is still Aaron Rodgers. And as long as his name is Aaron Rodgers and he's a professional quarterback, you got a lot of pressure. But, James, the reason is Tomlin for me is how long is Mike Tomlin going to be okay with the Steelers just being okay? Like, how long is Mike Tomlin going to be okay and content with the Steelers just being average? We keep talking about the Steelers like they're this elite and illustrious NFL franchise. They're not. They don't have a playoff win in 8 seasons. If you miss the playoffs again, that's 9 seasons. Why are we still talking about the Steelers? Why? Because Mike Tomlin had some good runs 15 years ago? James Jones is on TV right now. The last time Mike Tomlin was nearing Super Bowls, James Jones was in the prime of his NFL career. He played 9 years. Like, how long are we going to keep wasting our breath, our oxygen, our show rundowns talking about the Steelers? Mike Tomlin, you put the Steelers in this position. They are slightly above average every single year. We praise you because you are good, but good is the enemy of great. So I just think Mike Tomlin has pressure because it appears at this junction in times, the Steelers and Steelers fans have become numb to excellence, and they have started to attain mediocrity and have been content with mediocrity. That's why I think, Mike Tomlin, please do something. Do something.
Just for you, before we go, like, the expectation level on Rodgers this year is make the playoffs? Like, we're not talking about Rodgers from 8 years ago where, hey, he needs to be an MVP, he needs to do this, he needs to take the Packers to this.
Yeah, nobody said that.
So then that's why I can't say there's more pressure on Rodgers this season. Rodgers just needs to make the playoffs. Like, I mean, even if he doesn't, even if he has a bad year, so what? Like, for Rodgers, so what? It's like, it won't taint his legacy for me.
Yeah.
He still has 4 MVPs, he still has a Super Bowl, he still has a Super Bowl MVP. Mike Tomlin, he's tried this, and he hasn't won a playoff game since 16. And he was the one who chose Aaron Rodgers.
So when Aaron Rodgers went to the Jets, all the pressure was on Saleh?
This is not that question.
No, it's the coach. because you guys are choosing the coach. What I'm saying, the player, all the pressure has to be on the player to go out there and deliver. If Aaron Rodgers delivers, Salah's still coaching the Jets. And I know Salah and Tomlin are different things because Tomlin just been to the playoffs every year and just signed an extension. But what I'm saying, if Aaron Rodgers comes in there and stinks it up and doesn't play well, and this is a bad football team, we are going to say it's Tomlin's fault?
What happens if Rodgers doesn't play well? Like, what do you think the
Then I'm blaming it all on Aaron Rodgers. That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't affect anything, though. We can blame it on him. It'll be not talked about in a year from now. What happens if Tomlin doesn't?
He's going to be the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers next year. He just signed an extension. He's not going nowhere. He's going to be the coach of the Steelers. And Aaron Rodgers is probably going to be out of the league.
It's a one-year thing for Rodgers. They haven't got the quarterback position right in Pittsburgh since Big Ben left.
Correct. And even the last era of Big Ben was still probably wrong.
The last few seasons.
Yeah. I just don't know how all the pressure's on the coach. I just don't know.
I'll tell you this much. Pressure, Tyrese Haliburton is putting a lot of pressure on the superstars in the NBA right now with that game winner. Is he officially a superstar? 5 game winners in the playoffs, second to only LeBron James over a career. Yeah, that's Haliburton. Oh, Haliburton showed up and showed out in the last 0.3 seconds of the game. Another buzzer beater for Haliburton. That makes nearly 4, if not 4 exactly, in this playoffs alone to tie the game or take the lead. Haliburton is absolutely a sensation. The question is he a budding star of the nation? Shady McCoy, Haliburton, is he officially a superstar?
I love me Haliburton right now. Yeah. It's changed a lot of people's mindsets, a lot of their thoughts, right? I don't know what you thought about him. You better think differently. Because he's showing up. And I think maybe it's the way his personality is, you don't look at him as a super competitor. But when you watch him on the court, don't let that smiles and all that stuff on interviews fool you. Yeah. That brother competes. But when we talk about superstar, let me just give you, because sometimes your words can't show you what I'm trying to say. So let me paint this picture without no words. Please show what I like as a superstar. You see these guys over there? Now, I just want to ask you one question. Now, who would you take out this list to put Haliburton in?
Anthony Edwards.
Because you're going to win some games. You can win a game or two, right?
Jalen Brunson, Anthony Edwards.
Oh, wow. You telling me you would take him from Brunson? You kidding me?
I have no choice.
Listen, man, I'll tell you what. I'm taking everybody on this list, I'm taking him twice before I take Haliburton. I think Haliburton's a really good player. He's playing well right now. He's having his moment. It's his moment where he's going to remember, like, yo, I was doing my thing and the whole world witnessed it. Yes, because I'm witnessing right now. But these dudes right here, these dudes are special, man. They don't need much. Yeah. All they need is a coach, a whistle, and a referee. Let's get to it. These guys change franchises. These guys are special players. And I got to put them ahead of Haliburton as my superstar.
He's a superstar. When he speaks, I listen. Doesn't mean I completely just agree, but I do listen. I disagree. Haliburton he's not officially a superstar because game 1 doesn't do it. You win this series, he's officially a superstar. Reason I would suggest that is if we are going to include the likes of Anthony Edwards, who has not been to an NBA Finals as a superstar, or the likes of a Jalen Brunson as a superstar, Haliburton, who both eliminated Jalen Brunson and went further than Anthony Edwards, has to cross that list. Now, to be a superstar, I would like some first-team All-NBAs.
I was about to get there.
Yeah, I would like some first-team All-NBAs. I would like you to be a champion first. I would like you to be the MVP of your team. It cannot go to Pascal Siakam if you are trying to reach superstar status, particularly if you don't have regular season first-team All-NBAs to be a superstar. But what Haliburton is doing is generational. Yeah. Like what Haliburton is doing is like something you do not see from star players at a consistent level. I'm reminiscent of Michael Jordan stealing the ball from Karl Malone, going down the court, crossing over Byron Russell, hitting that dagger 3. That's what I'm reminiscent of. When you talk about Haliburton doing it with a lot, where is the a lot? Nembhard's not a lot. Miles Turner's not a lot. Naismith is not a lot. T.J. McConnell, Obi Toppin, they're not a lot. Shout out to Pascal Siakam. He's a really good player. But Haliburton is the driving factor of a team that's up 1-0 in the NBA Finals.
Let me one more time, please, real quick. I disagree with you because one guy got Eastern Conference Final, another one did. Can I see the graphic one more time? I'm sorry about this because I was just thinking about it. I was going to wait till my second lap, but my man wanted to try me real quick. First of all, so if you're going to be a superstar, right, you got to have either a first team All-NBA, that means one of the best players in this league, or at least a second team. Yeah. He don't have neither of them things.
Yeah.
So you want an MVP, you don't got a first team All-NBA. How the hell are you going to be a all-star?
Yeah. Superstar, yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you agree with what I'm saying?
1,000%. Officially, right now, he's not. He's not at all.
All right, so we agree on that.
Yes.
Okay, move it along then. I said to make sure.
Not at all yet. But I will suggest this, and James, catch this through. If you win a Finals MVP, that atones for not having a first-team All-NBA.
I don't agree with that.
But if Brunson doesn't even go to the finals...
But what I'm saying is, listen, you can have a really good series and win the finals. Steph Curry is my favorite player. They gave it to Iggy, however that worked out. Right? But when we talk about I'm the best player in the league, or I'm the second best player in the league in my position, that matters more, though.
To you, fair? Fair.
Superstar player is kind of different to me than like an all-star player and a really good player.
Right, of course.
Right, so if I said Joker, what would you say?
Superstar.
Giannis, what would you say?
Superstar.
LeBron.
Superstar.
Steph.
Superstar.
KD.
Superstar.
You don't got to argue superstars. You don't got to argue superstars. If you have to argue, you're not a superstar. If you have to argue, you could be in the all-star category, you could be in the really good player category, but if you are a superstar player, there's no arguments that come about it, right? Once you say your name, he's a superstar player. He's having a superstar run. He is having a superstar run in the playoffs right now. But when you say superstar player, I can't put him in that category. And to be honest with you, we don't treat him like a superstar player. Because if we treated him like a superstar player, we would talk bad about him in certain games. There's games in this playoff run that he's had 6 points. He's had 8 points. In this last game, he led by 0.3 seconds, but he did have 14 points. And the other superstar on the other side, and Shea, had almost 40. So when you say superstar number one, there is no arguing. I hated this topic because I be wanting to celebrate Haliburton because this run he's having is absolutely special right now. But when you say superstar player, you should not even have to argue a superstar player.
James, let me ask you this, though. I think we need to change the paradigm, though, of which we look at superstar and which we look at dominance in the NBA. What I mean by that is this. Right now, the paradigm for which we look at star players is points. How many points can you accrue through the course of a game? The reason I suggest that is this. All the players primarily on the list that Shady said and the list that you mentioned are scoring leaders in the NBA. They're scoring leaders, SGA, KD, Giannis. Like, these are scoring leaders. These are players that amass and accrue a ton of points. They do other things, but Steph Curry, these are scoring leaders. Tyrese Haliburton, you could suggest, didn't have an impactful game. But 14, 10, and 6, that would suggest that's impactful. Now, it's not the 38 points that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had by no stretch of the imagination, but I think we might need to change the paradigm by which we look at the true point guard. I think the devolving of the point guard is what Haliburton is doing. He's taking us back to the eras of Steve Nash and Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd wasn't going to average 30 points a game, but he was going to give you 14, 10, and 8. He was going to give you 18, 12, and 6. I think the dilemma for all of us, especially covering sports right now, is we say, well, Haliburton didn't score 20, so he had a bad game.
No.
Haliburton didn't score 30, so he had a bad game. Well, you suggested he only scored 14 last night, but 14, 10, and 6 is one heck of a game.
I'm talking superstardom, though. That's an all-star game. We're talking superstar play, consistent superstar play. He had 6 points in the game, too, Acho.
Let me ask you this,
he had
James.
8 points in the game.
I would suggest the two-time MVP Steve Nash was a superstar during that era. Two-time MVP. These are Steve Nash numbers. I think Haliburton is a modern-day Steve Nash.
But Steve Nash has MVPs and first-team All-NBAs and all that type of stuff.
That's why he's not officially won yet. That's why he's not officially won yet. But Steve Nash also never went to the NBA Finals.
Hold up. So, what would you say his best, this postseason, what was his best games?
The 30, 15, and 12.
The triple-double game.
The triple-double.
I mean, the third, say it, the what?
The 30.
All right, okay. All right. But all his big games when he was scoring 30s.
You're not wrong.
I know.
You're not wrong.
They say it a lot on the show.
Here's my fear, though. Here's my fear, Shady, and here's why I bring this up, and I'll leave it at this is, if we could, I don't want us to, it was Einstein who said, if you judge...
He was smart, too.
Brilliant. He said this, if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it too will live its whole life believing it's stupid. I do not want to judge Tyrese Haliburton by his ability to score points. Because if we judge Tyrese Haliburton by his ability to score points, we will live Tyrese Haliburton's whole career believing that he's not a superstar player. I think you got to judge Haliburton like you judge a fish by its ability to swim. Haliburton's ability to get everybody else involved. 14, 10, and 6 when the 10 was actually rebounds and the 6 was dimes. That's how I want to judge Haliburton. I don't want to judge Haliburton by points.
My only thing is, like, we've seen point guards like Haliburton get their teams involved and still be dominant superstar players. Like, I did watch the Steve Nashes. I did watch the Chris Pauls. Those dudes were true point guards, too, getting their teammates involved, but they also was walking buckets every night, too, though.
No, I disagree with that vehemently. Chris Paul became a walking bucket at points in his career. Steve Nash was never a walking bucket. Steve Nash with the Phoenix Suns was the ultimate
whenever
distributor.
Steve Nash wanted to score, but he was a true point guard getting everybody involved.
And I would say this, Haliburton scores whenever he needs to score. Maybe not want, because I'll differ with you there. Haliburton scores whenever he needs to score.
Even like last night, it's hard for me to see them winning when, like, nobody has over 20 points, and we just trying to do this thing together like it's college. All right, look, today you can get 12, you can get 15. Yo, please get 16. How you gonna win like that? Sometimes you need your point guard. Yo, I'm gonna get y'all ball, but listen, we need buckets, we need shots.
But what about this? Remember last night's game?
And they're at their best when he's aggressive. If you really watch how they play, when they're at their best is when he's aggressive, attacking that rim, because now everybody can get involved. They dishing out.
But here's answer me this, 2-5. You watched it, James, you watch it. The last bucket before Haliburton's, it came because Nembhard cooked Shea off the dribble.
Ooh.
Bing, 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 bing. Step back, Trey ball.
Cross tween, step back, Trey.
Bucket before that, it was Naismith in the corner, in the left corner.
Yep.
Step back, Trey ball. I think the bucket before that, or two buckets before that, Stevie, correct me if I'm wrong, it's Miles Turner. Pump, left, Trey ball.
Off the glass.
So,
fade away off the glass.
No doubt about it. But here's my point is this. It was 4 different players scoring 4 consecutive buckets that were all 4 needed at the time. To me, that's the Pacers' route to success. It's not the Jalen Brunson model where it's just, I'm going to shoot 4 times in a row. It went Miles Turner, then it went Naismith, then it went Nembhard, then Haliburton was the closing pitcher. But he didn't pitch every night.
I tell you this, right? And I don't know everything. I know a lot about some things. And this is why I know a lot about this particular question right here. If they're going to win a championship, they're not going to win doing like this college. You get 12, you get 15, I get this shot. No. You're going to need a superstar. The game gets close. Who's going to close it out?
Haliburton's a closer, though.
We're going to find out.
He is a closer.
No, close out. It's not this, game-winning shots, right? That ain't, because you got to get to that point. So we're going to find out. Because, like, even back then with Siakam, a couple games, I'm like, okay, are they going to him to close it out? Or is he going to – it's just hard to tell with this team. What I'm saying is, when we know if OKC gets in a tight game and they need buckets now,
sure.
You know where they're going with it.
Sure.
Hey, when you got to ask that question, it's hard to win like that. But we're going to see. We're going to find out.
I will tell.
I'm betting all my money on OKC.
Superstar is tough.
Shoes, socks.
Hall of Fame might be even tougher. And Russell Wilson, I would suggest, is one. He's a starting quarterback right now. But Russell Wilson, he finally commented on the first-round pick that the Giants drafted in Jaxson Dart, his potential replacement. Should Russ be worried about his starting job? That's next.
I'm betting my toothbrush. I'm betting my brush. I'm betting my phone.
Hey, Russell Wilson was a huge addition to the Giants this offseason, but they also made an even bigger addition for the future in Jaxson Dart, first-round pick. Russ said there's no added pressure, but also said some other things. Take a listen.
I just think about having success today. You know, it's always been my approach. Every day is like, I'm trying to be the best in the world. You know, not just, I think that for me, mentally, you have confidence in yourself. You have confidence in what you do, your process. I constantly stay the course and understand that, if I'm the best me, I know how great that is.
If I'm the best me.
See, that's what I'm saying about Russ. He's always focused, laser focused. And that's what a future Hall of Fame looks like.
Locked in.
You know what I mean? He ain't nervous. First round, that's cool. I'm trying to be the best me.
Yeah.
Tell him, Russ, that's a serious.
And that's good enough.
That's why my mom always, I gotta get married, get a real woman behind me.
Good woman.
When I got a woman behind me, especially a sister behind me, I'm gonna start talking like that.
Bang.
Any sister that's looking for a good gentleman, good husband, I'm available.
And she'll keep it a buck with you, too,
Hello.
Thanks, Russ. I need that, Russ. Thank you.
Tripping on the show.
Chase, be available to give us this tape.
What was the question?
Should Russell Wilson be worried about the rookie first-round pick Jaxson Dart taking a starting job?
So I look at it in 2 ways, this question. One, as a competitor, absolutely not. Never look over your shoulder. You're Russell Wilson, man. You've won a Super Bowl. You're going to go to the Hall of Fame, I think. Multiple Pro Bowls, all this stuff. So you're never looking over your shoulder. And I like the way Russ is competing against himself. He's like, I'm not looking over. I'm trying to get better as a quarterback, because we have a lot of people, especially me on this desk, that are like, hey, you don't know if you can do it. Now, on the other hand, do I think he should worry about this actually happening? Yeah, absolutely. Like, if I'm the analyst hat, I'm going to tell you, hey, the average week that a rookie quarterback starts since 2020?
First-round pick.
Week 3, first-round pick. It's week 3. Now, I don't think that's going to happen with Russ. I don't think they're in the position right now. I don't think Jaxson Dart's ready to start week 3. All that tells me is eventually it's going to happen. Unless Russ is playing at the top of his game, unless the Giants are in the playoff run, unless they're trying to do something that a lot of people don't think they can do. They have one of the toughest schedules in the league. So I think the odds of him actually being able to play a whole season, it's low because I don't have as much faith as maybe James does in the Giants itself. Look, the Giants may surprise some people with how good their offense is, and I hope it is. I hope it is. So I look at it from a competitor, never look over your shoulder. Then I look at it from a realistic, probably standpoint that history has proven right. I'm like, yeah, you should worry a little bit.
Yeah. I have that he should worry, but then I was thinking about it. Russ can't worry because Russ don't play bad. His teams don't always win, but Russ don't play bad. He's been on 3 different teams in the last 4 years. He has 83 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. A 3-to-1 nearly touchdown interception ratio. If Russ has a 3-to-1 touchdown interception ratio during the course of the season, it will be very hard to bench him. So, like, his team, he just doesn't play bad. Now, where I differ again from James is I don't know that the Giants are going to win a whole bunch of games. And if they don't win a whole bunch of games, you might just bench him for the sake of trying to change it up, just see what you can do, in the same way that the Denver Broncos did. But Russ just doesn't play bad. So you going to bench Russ when he has 16 touchdowns, 4 picks? You going to bench Russ when he has 20 touchdowns, 6 interceptions? Giants might be 3-6, but, like, it's going to be hard to bench Russ when he's playing that good, and Malik Neighbors is going to have to speak up and be like, hey, how do you feel about them benching Russ for Jaxson Dart? I don't think Russ should worry for that reason.
Yeah. Did you see that interview he just had?
Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
Do he look worried?
He's not worried.
Do he look worried?
He's not worried.
He ain't worried about no Jaxson Dart. Man, stop playing with him. Now, if it was Shedeur Sanders, he might be, but it's not him. And while y'all playing around, beating around the bush, is Jaxson Dart the number 2 quarterback on the roster? No, he's not. Jameis. He's the 3rd. Jameis is number 2. Yeah, man. Hey, wait your turn, Rook. Wait your turn. I think Russ is super excited, man. I think he's confident just because of his talent and how good he is and what he's already did in his career. But also, you got Brian Daboll. And I ain't got no slappy coach over here. That guy he needs me to go out here and do. Nah, he going to help me out. And I think together is what builds the confidence. You have a really good quarterback who's super experienced, is going to the Hall of Fame eventually. And then you got a really good, smart, guru type of offensive-minded coach with Brian Daboll. They're going to do some great things together. And then you add in Malik Neighbors? Yeah. Man, okay. Yeah. Russ, do your thing, Russ. Do your thing. And do your dance, Russ. Well, he don't really dance, huh? You know what? Score touchdowns. Because dancing got you in trouble anyway. You start dancing, he's Mr. Dangerous. Yeah, just leave that alone. But he's done with that. Yeah. Thank God.
God. Worrying and looking over your shoulder is different.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Worrying and looking over your shoulder.
Okay, tell me about it.
Worrying is, I know this dude ain't better than me, so I ain't worried about him. Or worrying is, man, this young boy is like that. I need to be worried a little bit. So he shouldn't be worried because he's not better. Jaxson Dart's not better than Russell Wilson, so you shouldn't worry. I'm better than you. But you should absolutely be peeking over that shoulder.
James is coming around.
No, I'm just saying, peeking over the shoulder is different. Like Aaron Rodgers said, Aaron Rodgers was a 2-time MVP, a Super Bowl champion, and a Super Bowl MVP. And when they drafted Jordan Love, around the same area they drafted Jaxson Dart, he said, this changes everything because he's going to have to play.
Beginning of the end.
Who knows when he's going to have to play, but he's going to have to play. If you're a first-round quarterback, and you are a veteran quarterback, you absolutely should be peeking over your shoulder. Worried, Aaron Rodgers should have not been worried because he knows Jordan Love ain't messing with him as a football player. Russell Wilson, Jaxson Dart ain't messing with you as a quarterback right now. As a football player, you should not be worried. But you for sure.
Just ask you one question.
Because
you have a point.
It's a little peek. That's all I'm saying.
It's the business of football, right?
Thank you. That's all I'm saying.
But I will say this. Yeah. I remember when Aaron Rodgers was on the same team with Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers gets hurt or something like that, and Jordan Love had to go out there and play. And I was like, Aaron Rodgers is acting like a real cocky, like whatever. Why he acting like that? He's a first rounder, right?
He ain't worried.
You know why? Because he's seen him playing practice. He's seen him. And he had that game, and he looked awful. Jordan Love's first game. Y'all remember that? Against the Chiefs. He looked real bad. The next interview with Pat McAfee, he was in his feet on the desk. Yeah, well, you know how it is, fellas. Because he already knew.
He couldn't mess with him.
That's what I'm saying. So I think Russ, same way.
I'm saying worrying.
I seen you play, young boy. You ain't ready yet. You ain't ready, young boy.
That's a good answer, man.
Hey, speaking of worry, I would suggest this. After being down 0-1, the Thunder might want to be worried. NBA Finals, Thunder is Shea's first time there, and 38 points wasn't enough to get the job done. 25 turnovers by the Pacers wasn't enough to get the job done. So is Game 2 already a must-win for a Thunder team that was as heavy a favorite as we've seen in the finals in over 5 years? That's next, the facility. Thunder were big favorites coming into the finals, but they lost. They lost their 15-point lead in the fourth quarter and still never found a way to get it done. Ultimately, Pacers win. Pacers up 1-0. So the question is very simple. Shady, Game 2 for the Thunder. Would you suggest it's already a must-win?
It's a must-win. They got to win this, right? First of all, you win at home. One of the things about the OKC is we talk about how they have that college atmosphere. When I say college atmosphere, everybody's there.
Yep.
Mama there, grandpop there, the kids there. You should be in bed for school. No, don't worry about school. We at the game. And they lost, right? Rick Carlisle said how loud it was on the timeouts. Like, yo, it was so loud. Yeah. We had to really focus in on the huddles. So they got to win this game because you going down 0-2 to the Pacers?
Yep.
That don't even sound right. And I'm going to say this. This is how confident I am they're going to win. I'm betting my cribs, I'm betting my cars, I'm betting my house, I'm betting my shoes, I'm betting my phones, I'm betting my watches. Everything got to go.
Everything must go. It's an estate sale.
Oh my God.
Everything must go.
Dog. Look, I'm betting my best friends. Like so I lose, we can't be friends no more. Yeah, let's go.
Outro on the line.
Chapstick, wallets, shoelaces, my favorite pet dog. Everything got to go.
You got that much confidence.
Other than the kids. Now the kids can't go.
Kids can't go.
I can't put them out for a wager. But everything else I can actually bet.
Yeah.
Line up on the line, baby. Let's go.
For Game 2.
Mama safe.
Gosh,
Safe going. You said my mama?
Mama safe.
Oh, my dog mama? Yeah, you don't. Nah, she got to go.
Yeah, Mom.
Everything got to go.
What about Pops?
My
Pop safe.
my Fox salary got to go.
Gotta go.
Yeah, man. Anything else y'all I own is gone.
Bentley?
My grandmother's turned 87 or 86. She gotta go. My mama, she raised me. I love my mama.
Not mama.
Man, she fed you.
Not mama.
She fed you.
Not mama.
Not mama.
But my dad, I love my dad. He's a great dad.
He put
He got to go.
Yeah.
What about the Eagles jersey?
Don't be a second cousin. Oh, you the second cousin? You got to be out there.
Got to go.
Yeah. So
Super Bowl rings.
They got to go.
Got to go.
I ain't playing. They got to go too. The Russian title belt got to go.
Got to go.
What else I got?
All decade.
I worked 10, 11, 12, 13 years. They got to go
Got
too.
to go.
Listen, I'm saying it right now. OKC is going to whip that tail in Game 2. Everything is up. Everything's up. If I lose, I ain't going to have nothing left.
Nothing.
I'll be walking the Fox. I might not have no Fox job. I got no other job.
Got to go.
Hey, well,
no clothes, no drugs, no nothing.
Well, you're going to get rid of your best friend, man. I'm your home, but I'll pick you up.
You on the line, too.
On the line.
Yeah, so if we lose, you can't call me. I can't call. We can't talk no more.
Bruh.
Yeah, it's on.
This take right here.
OKC Thunder, baby.
The Pacers win.
Listen.
This take right here going to be everywhere. Well, with that being said, bruh, it's a must-win.
Forget your take.
Win, bro. Forget my take. For my brother, man, it's a must-win, man.
Real talk.
He can't. Bro, Pops paid your bills, put roof on.
Hey, yo, wait. They do the thing where they pay you for your blood and all that? They got to go. Yeah.
Any way you can make money,
Anybody can make money.
I get it, though, bro. But Mom's is here.
Mom's staying. Mom got to stay. Mom
gotta go.
Mom got to stay.
Mom's staying and the kids staying.
Pops gotta go.
Everything else.
That's about it.
Everything else is out.
Everything else on the line.
That's about it.
So.
Now, Mama house might be up for the wager too, though.
Fact, but
so, Mama, you gonna be here in life, but you might not have a place to live at.
That's fact.
So that crib's up too.
That crib gotta go.
Yeah.
Hey.
OKC, SGA.
You heard him. You heard the
win,
man.
dog.
Hey, and we got to go to break. Hey, when we return, Aaron Rodgers has a Super Bowl win on his resume, but will he make the Steelers?
There you go.
Ooh, we got the belt too?
There you
You
go.
know I got my own Russian title belt. You know that, right?
Stevie. Aaron Rodgers headed to Pittsburgh, finally, week 1 versus the Jets, week 8 versus the Packers. But it's not about the regular season. What in the world can Aaron Rodgers help the Steelers do in the postseason? One of the most storied franchises. I believe the Steelers have the second most Super Bowl wins in the history of football.
Storied franchise.
Colvin,
sure.
correct me if I'm wrong. Matt, correct me if I'm wrong.
I know what it
They
is.
got the second most to the Patriots. But with all that being said, they haven't even won a playoff game. Playoffs in 8 seasons.
2016?
James, you acquire Aaron Rodgers not to win in the regular season. You acquire Aaron Rodgers to win in the postseason. Does Rodgers make the Steelers Super Bowl contenders?
Well, you got to win in the regular season to get to the postseason.
That's
to get
very
to the
true.
dance, so they better win some of them. Yeah, man, I think they make them Super Bowl contenders. They going to punch their ticket to the playoffs. And once you punch your ticket to the playoffs, you have an opportunity. And with Aaron Rodgers under center, they will get to the playoffs, and they will have an opportunity to compete and be contenders. No, to be honest with you, man, I don't know how this team's going to look.
Yeah.
I don't know what this team's going to look like. I don't know what Aaron Rodgers is going to look like. Aaron Rodgers has had one of the longest off seasons he's had in a minute. No OTAs, no none of that, not being in meetings. You're going to come in here, you're learning a whole new playbook. You're learning a bunch of new wide receivers. I don't know how this is going to look. So as I sit up here today, my answer is really, I don't know if they're playoff contenders. I don't know if they're Super Bowl contenders. I don't know what this team is going to look like. But I do know with Aaron Rodgers walking in the building, they were better than they were yesterday.
You don't know if they're Super Bowl contenders? You don't know that?
I don't know that. I got to wait and see.
I just want to make sure. How many contenders are we talking about per conference? Do you think there is?
Question.
I would say probably
Per conference?
Per conference. Okay, if it's 3 or 4.
Because it's none
No.
in some conferences. So
Well, come on. No, they're not a Super Bowl contender. If there's 3 or 4 contenders per conference, or there's 6 or 7 teams that we're just like, hey, they can contend for a Super Bowl. I'm sorry, they don't make the cut for me. I think they win 9-10 games, third in their division. Here's the thing. Look, but this is the thing. I think Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, but they lost their leading passer, rusher, and receiver this offseason. I said it earlier in the show. The last 3 times that have happened, teams have finished 2-15, 3-13, 5-11.
Yuck.
So I agree Rodgers gets them more wins in the regular season, but we can't come up here and say that if they haven't won a playoff game in 8-9 years since 2016, plus Aaron Rodgers, it's a no for me.
I'll say it quickly. I think they're Super Bowl spoilers. What I mean by that is they played the Baltimore Ravens last game of the season. That's a game that the Steelers could end up winning, and now you move the Baltimore Ravens maybe from being a 1 seed to a 4 seed, maybe from being a 4 seed to a 5 seed, maybe from being a 5 seed to a 7 seed. The Detroit Lions are contenders. I think that's a game that the Steelers could win. Now the Detroit Lions go from winning their division maybe to being a wild card team. Maybe the Detroit Lions go from being a 1 seed to not having a bye. Now the Detroit Lions have to travel instead of hosting all home games in a dome. I think the Steelers are more likely going to spoil teams' Super Bowl seasons than be a Super Bowl team themselves.
I don't want to waste too much time here. They're not contenders for no Super Bowl, and James Jones knows that.
How you know what I know? You know what I'm thinking?
You know that.
You just said.
And I'm not going to waste no more time, and I ain't going to
just
elaborate
threw me
about
away
it.
as your homeboy.
People out there that
You just threw
He ain't throwing you away yet, James. If the Pacers
what I'm
win,
saying?
then you
the
thrown away.
Steelers is going to the Super Bowl.
Who said that?
What we talking about?
Who said they going to the Super Bowl?
I ain't, man. It's Friday.
Friday.
Hey, when we return, it is time for a Blitz meeting. I don't think Shady threw those out, too. Hey, it's time for a Blitz meeting after we return.
Now it's still going to Super Bowl. Let me guess. Black and yellow confetti.
Black and yellow, black and yellow.
Sean McVay, he considered retirement in the past, but he said, quote, the idea of not coaching feels laughable. I hear you, McVay. I guess they didn't offer you enough money over here. Hey, Sean is clearly the best head coach in the NFL. Is that true, though, Shady? Is McVay clearly, NFC.
Okay.
Is Sean McVay clearly the best coach in the NFC?
And the lie detector decided that that's a lie.
That's a
Nick
lie.
Sirianni, stop playing with you. Who is it, defending champ? Is it Nick? Or is it Sean? Come on, dog. And don't give Nick mad. He put that haircut on you.
Man.
Yeah, that is a no from your boy. I can't say that. McVay is clearly, that word clearly is doing way too much lifting.
You snuck in the word clearly.
Yeah, way too much
It's between McVay and Sirianni, even though Shanahan, he hasn't won a Super Bowl, right? I think he is. I think he's clearly the best head coach. I know that Sirianni won the last championship, but yeah.
It is very, very clear that he is not. And I don't know what
Is it
clear you think.
What order do you put him
in?
in?
Been to 2
What order?
Super Bowls in 3 years.
So Sirianni's the best in the
Playoff.
NFC?
I'm not saying the best. It ain't clear. You said clear was.
But if you had to rank them right now, go.
If I had to rank them right now, it goes Nick Sirianni, Sean McVay. Maybe the 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. Straight up. You know what I'm saying?
He's your man for right now. But remember, if the Thunder win,
dropping you.
Wow.
I know he
Hey,
can.
our very own Dave Hellman, he ranked the playoff chances of the 18 teams who missed the postseason last year. So, Shady, who do you think is the best team that failed to make the playoffs last season?
Oh, so it's not who does well in the playoffs. It's just who gets to the playoffs. It's the Cowboys.
Whoa.
That Prescott, yeah. No, that's great at getting in the playoffs.
Correct. It's what happens.
He's not great when he's in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? That's great to get into the playoffs.
Yep.
But he's not great once he's in the playoffs.
Wow. For me, I'm saying the Bengals, y'all. The Cincinnati Bengals.
That's a great one.
I think they bounce back.
I think it's the Bengals too. I don't think there's any way they don't make the playoffs if they play up to their standard. And their defense the guy out.
That's 3 good ones. I am going with the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, I like that.
I think the Carolina Panthers are going to be a good football team. The division is weak. If you watch them over the last 8 games and the young fella came back after the benching, they looked well. Their roster is upgraded.
I'm with you on that one.
I know Shady ain't high on the Carolina Panthers. I am.
Who wins more games, Panthers or Cowboys?
Yo.
That's
Panthers.
You high right now, though. Either that or you would stay up late last night.
I know.
Today on this show, you said the Steelers is going to the Super Bowl.
No, I did not.
Potentially. Right?
But did they have a chance?
They don't have a chance.
They have a chance.
Then you're saying the Carolina Panthers is
The
going to
Carolina Panthers with Bryce
Cowboys
Young. I like them. Stand up tall, kid. You are not tripping. You see the answer the right way.
Yo, dog.
They got to beat the Bucks.
Whatever they do,
That's the only way they
don't
get
let them. All right, keep them on the show. Keep them on the show. What?
Hey, Aaron Rodgers' big move to the Steelers will set up a highly anticipated matchup against his former teams, the Jets and the Packers. Shady, which Rodgers reunion game are you most excited for, Jets or Packers?
I missed the double
discount.
I mean, the brother won 5 games to the Jets. What are we talking about? It got to be the Packers.
Yes,
Sweet.
Packers.
Come on, man.
Packers.
That's easy.
Come on, man.
Is it at Lambeau?
Sweet. No, I said Pittsburgh. I'll be there.
Okay.
Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Pacers, y'all know what it is, Thunder. Pacers are up 1-0 after the dramatic win. But when is game 2, Colvin? What day? Sunday, game 2. Oh, great. Gonna be a great Monday show. Hey, Shady, who wins game 2, Pacers? Well, we know who has to win for you.
Yeah, Pacers going to lose. Thunder going to win. And Thunder going to win with the spread. Not just the 11-point spread. We're going to double that. 22 points.
Oh, my.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put some money on
Yeah.
He's that confident?
Yeah.
I might move it up, too. I just don't think the number's going to be that good. Obviously, the Thunder going to get this one done. Thunder aren't going down 0-2, but shout out to the Pacers.
So I think it's the Thunder. I have this cool stat. In 99 total games this season, the Thunder have only lost back-to-back games twice. So I don't think it's 3.
Don't make it 3 times.
What you got, Thunder? Sweet.
It's okay.
Bring the brooms out. Hey, on Monday, we will be reacting to the great Thunder Pacers game 2. But for now, the hurt is next.
You had a bad Friday.
I did not have a great Friday, dude.